So today I was going to open two things of Pokemon cards, each which contain 24 cards plus one foil card. And over the course of the next week or so, watch out for some Magic the Gathering card opening and a different set of Pokemon card packets. And also in the Um, coming weeks, I might also do some ready to play 60 card decks. So lots of stuff to open and discuss. So let's get into the first pack of 25, which the box is kind of I'm guessing to discourage people stealing, but um, there's also a little box inside the box to kind of hold these. So Dodrio is the foil card. It's um, Billy is zooming draw once during your turn. You may put one damage counter on this Pokemon. If you do, draw a card. So I mean, I'm not big on damaging your Pokemon, but you know the cost of damaging you're gaining draw as a upside. Ballistic Beak, which costs one normal energy, it does 10 plus damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So I guess using the ability to draw cards increases the damage of its attack. So other than having to be careful not to faint your Pokemon, the less, like the more damage or less HP it has, the more damage its attacks could do. Farewell Bell. It's a trainer card or item. Pokemon tool. Attach a Pokemon tool to one of your Pokemon that doesn't already have a Pokemon tool attached. If the Pokemon VMAX this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. You may play any number of item cards during your turn. So I guess that's kind of helpful. If you want your, Pokemon, which happens to be a VMAX card, faints through combat damage, you get to search for a card. That's pretty helpful. Paladin Student, the trainer card, or that happens to be a supporter. Search your deck for a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, reveal it, and put it into your hand. For each Paladin Student card, not including this card, in your discard pile, you may search for an additional Pokemon in this way. Then shuffle your deck. Pokemon, in parentheses it says Pokemon EX, Pokemon V, etc. have rule boxes. You may play only one support card during your turn. So I guess where you only get one support card, you have to be strategic with what you're doing. Searching for Pokemon's helpful if you don't have enough Pokemon, or your opponent has stronger cards, Pokemon cards than you. There might be times that a different support card might be more beneficial. We have Energy Switch, which is a trainer card, an item. Move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. You may play any number of item cards during your turn. So we have another trainer card item called Mega Turbo. Attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Mega Evolution Pokemon. You may play as many item cards as you like during your turn before you attack. And then for some reason we have two of the same basic energy in the middle of the pack. I know in Magic the Gathering, usually the lands, which are similar to Pokemon's energy, seem to be either the front or the back. They're rarely in the middle unless it's some kind of special land. You have Poliwhirl, and then it tells you that it evolves from Poliwag. It's the water type Pokemon. The first attack is Light Punch, which requires two normal energy, and does 30 damage. Then Double Smash, which is the second attack, costs a water energy and two normal energy, and does 50 with a like multiplier next to it for damage. Flip 2 coins. This attack does 50 damage for each heads. So if you get no heads, I guess it won't do damage, but if you did 2 heads, it would be 100 damage. Haunter, which it reminds you it evolves from Ghastly. I guess the Pokemon card game doesn't show ghost type, so it has the energy symbol looks like a psychic instead. Curse Drop is the attack. It costs a psychic energy. Put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So instead of the attack doing a specific amount of damage, you're putting 3 damage counters on the opponent's Pokemon instead. Which seems different, but could be beneficial or not depending on how the game goes, I guess. Shellos, kind of interesting that they show like the blue and pink version. Not really familiar with this Pokemon from the games. Rain Splash is their first attack. It costs a basic or normal energy and does 10 damage. Surf is the second attack. It costs 3 normal energy and does 30 damage. I mean, where this is a water Pokemon and Rain Splash and Surf both seem like water related, you'd think those would cost water energy, but they're normal energy. Noose Leaf. I'm sort of familiar with the Pokemon, but that seems like around when I stopped playing some of the Pokemon games. It's a grass type. The attack is Push Down, which costs grass energy and does 30 damage. You may have your opponent switch their active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon, which almost seems like the attack Roar from the Pokemon games. But that may or may not work against you. I don't know. Oh, so we had Poliwhirl earlier. We have the Poliwag here in this pack. It's a water type Pokemon. Splashing Dodge is the attack, costing a single water energy and doing 10 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. So it does damage and prevents your opponent from damaging Poliwag on your opponent's next turn. That's kind of cool. Honchakro. It evolves from Murkrow, which I kind of remember Murkrow from the Pokemon games. I guess I never played the games that had this evolution in it. Peck is the first attack that costs a normal energy and does 20 damage. Night Cyclone is a second attack. I'm guessing this energy symbol is supposed to be the dark energy symbol. If it is, it costs 2 dark energies and a normal energy to do 160 damage. Move all energy from this Pokemon to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. So it does a crap ton of damage with Night Cyclone. It just moves all your energy from this to your bench Pokemon. So then you either have to put more energy on him or switch him out for another Pokemon. Cargo, which evolves from Slugma. I'm not 100% if I remember seeing this evolution. I do remember Slugma though. Fire type. The first attack is Flare, costs fire energy and does 30 damage. Lost Volcano costs 2 fire energy and a normal energy to do 220 damage. Put all energy attached to this Pokemon in the Lost Zone. Not 100% sure what the Lost Zone is. I guess I'll have to look that up at some point. Mr. Mime. It's a Psychic type Pokemon. The first attack is Pound, costs a normal energy and does 20 damage. The second attack is Tricky Slap, costs a Psychic and 2 normal energies to do 90 damage. You and your opponents play rock, paper, scissors until someone wins. If you win, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. So it almost feels like it's an attack that does damage and then does like the barrier type thing that some psychic Pokemon do to like, you know, either prevent or limit damage. Revered kind of looks like a long-haired dog almost. It's a psychic type Pokemon. Stampede's the first attack that costs psychic energy and does 10 damage. Stampede almost seems like it would maybe do more than 10 damage, but that's how it's printed on the card. Takedown costs a psychic and a normal energy, does 40 damage. This Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself, so does more damage than Stampede, but has a drawback of damaging itself. Peshuru. It's an electric type Pokemon. Electrified incisors cost electric energy and does 10 damage. During your opponent's next turn, whenever they attach an energy card from their hand to defending Pokemon, place 8 damage counters on that Pokemon. So I guess kind of prevents, or is an attempt to not have your um, opponent put energy counters on their Pokemon unless they want their Pokemon taking damage. Manatee, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the actual animal, not the Pokemon. What was what took Steve Irwin out? It's a water type Pokemon. Call for family cost normal energy. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. So that's kind of cool. You get to search your deck for Pokemon cards. Given they have to be normal type, you may or may not need that, but at least getting Pokemon out, or to your hand is helpful. Oh, actually, sorry, to your bench. Waterfall costs the water energy and the normal energy to do 50 damage. Yamper almost looks like an electric dog that is just weird and artistic almost. Play rough, cost electric and the normal energy, does 20 plus damage. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 20 more damage. Carvanha kind of looks like a piranha. I'm guessing it's a dark type. Reckless Charge costs dark energy to do 30 damage. This Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself. So not big on damaging yourself, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Gloom, it evolves from Osh, grass type Pokemon. Dispersal Drool costs the grass energy to do 20 damage. This attack also does 20 damage to each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. Wash Bottom, really weird ass looking water Pokemon. Manual Wash for water costs water energy to do 20 damage. Heal 10 damage from each of your Pokemon. Gadget Show costs 2 normal energy to do 30 with the multiplier. This attack does 30 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to all your Pokemon. Team Rocket's Porygon 2, which when I've opened these cards, I haven't seen a lot of the trainer cards, whether it's a Gym Leader or Team Rocket. It's a normal type Pokemon. R command costs 3 normal energy, 20 damage with a multiplier. This attack does 20 damage for each supporter card that has Team Rocket in its name in your discard pile. So it kind of encourages a Team Rocket themed deck, I guess. Cetadel, I guess. It's a water type Pokemon. Gentle Slap costs a water and normal energy to do 30 damage. Frost Smash costs 3 water energy and a normal energy to do 80 damage. Then we have Steven's Belladon, which is interesting that I was just saying I haven't seen a lot of the trainers Pokemon and then, get another one after recently seeing a Rockets one. I don't know if that's supposed to be the steel symbol. If it is, Ram costs steel energy and a normal energy to do 30 damage. So that was the first of the two Pokemon packs. So I guess I will do the second one, later tonight, and or the video might get posted tomorrow morning. So watch out for the second one of these. Like I said, it's more Magic and Pokemon packs. Thanks, and have a good day.